Okay, so this presentation is called the Five Rings. And this is a presentation for both the people of FIGU and the people who've never heard of FIGU. My previous presentation was about my Quora account, where I answer questions about spirituality and the spiritual teaching. And I also want to give some very valuable resources, which a lot of people don't know about. My two websites is the Cosmic Love blog, which has lots of information. You can search the website. You could search about climate change and overpopulation and UFOs and all kinds of topics that are relevant to today, and also the spiritual teaching. And then my Beam of Light website, which has a couple excerpts from the contact reports and also kind of PDF downloads people can read up on. So this is the Five Rings, and we all have this knowledge, and we're so passionate. We want to share it with the world because it's helped us personally, and we know through years of study that we love this information and we want to share it. But the world is divided into five rings for this presentation. Now, this is not the opinion of FIGU Arizona or FIGU, but this is my own personal opinion. I'm just sharing it for educational purposes, and do with it what you will. But I would like to discuss what you guys think later. So in these five rings, the world is divided into five types of people. And this is kind of what I found on Quora when I answer people's questions and see their responses. We have religious extremists, fanatics, sects, cults, and terrorists. These people have extreme beliefs. They're radical, and we're probably never going to get through to them and change how they think, at least for a very long time. Next, moving over towards the middle, we have people who follow religions, people who are very belief oriented. They believe in the Bible or another holy book, and they go back to that holy book to quote it as the truth, because for some reason it's true because the book says it's true, but it doesn't make any sense in the logical world. We have people who love Jesus. Jesus saves, I don't know what it means, but people believe it. And people who love angels that don't exist and they've never met one, but they have their angels and their prayers, which again, I was raised Catholic too. And, we were forced to memorize these prayers that didn't make any sense. In the middle, there's us, there's the creation energy teaching. There's the spiritual teaching, the Geisteslehre, and FIGU. And this is what we study. And we found this after searching our whole lives, and we're so happy to have found it. We want to share it with other people. On the left, we have agnostics, people who are into spirituality, people who are into peace, but they use the wrong peace sign, nature lovers, mystics, esoterics, people like at the New Age info stand that we were talking to. Now, these people are open to the creation energy teaching. They're open to UFOs and new information, but they're usually tainted with false information. On the far left, we have atheists, anti-theists, cold scientists, and hard skeptics. These are people like Michio Kaku and Neil deGrasse Tyson and Robin Hansen, and people who think they're experts, but they really don't know anything that wasn't taught to them outside of a university or a textbook. So they don't teach the spiritual teaching in universities. So how could they know? They completely deny the existence of aliens. They completely deny reincarnation. So they just deny. That's impossible. You can't travel faster than light, blah, blah, blah. So those are the five groups. And how do we reach, or who do we approach, or who can we approach without preaching or proselytizing or trying to convince everyone? If it comes up in a conversation, how do we talk to people? I think this is a rough breakdown. These are my numbers, but there was a recent poll saying about 80% of people are religious. So I broke it down to these groups here: 70% religious, and then the fanatics, the agnostics, the atheists. Where do we stand? We're 0.01% if you take a million people, but it's actually less than that if you take like the FIGU people. This is what we're up against. And on the one hand, we can't preach and knock on people's doors and proselytize or try and persuade or convince. But on the other hand, it's our duty and responsibility to bring this teaching to the world. So we are outnumbered by far. So I just came up with the idea that we want to target or talk to in a conversation where it's appropriate, the people where that overlap in our circle, the people who are very skeptical of their religion, because a lot of us were raised in a religion and then we moved to the center and we found the truth. And then the people on the left, like the new age people, and people who are open to a higher power, but they're not religious. They know religion doesn't make sense. And we can kind of pull them in perhaps too. So one of the ways to do this is to clear up the discrepancies in the Bible and talk about the Talmud Emmanuel. The fact that his name wasn't Jesus, but it was actually Emmanuel, and there's a document that was written before the four Gospels, and also that angels were actually human extraterrestrials. So all gods and angels were human extraterrestrials, and this is valid through all religions. On the left, we have the spirituality group, and from here we have to show that, you know, channeling for the most part is not real. Reincarnation is real. We could talk about meditation, and when people say they are for the environment and for nature, we could talk about the cause that is overpopulation that creates all the negative effects. So anyways, that's it. That's the 5 rings. And I just want to share with you one final teaching and quote. And this image is from FIGU. It's been around for a long time, but I added the Om quote at the bottom. And this, I think, encapsulates, you know, everyone's mission in life is to evolve their consciousness, to evolve. And I think it's something that's very simple, that is easy to understand. And it explains that there are spiritual levels that are real, and there are space travelers that are real, and they've also been to Earth. And then there's us at the bottom, and we've come a long way, but we have a long way to go. So I'll just leave you with this quote from Om Canon 41, verses 49 and 50. Earthman, in the long and immeasurable chain of all created things, I see an enchanting diversity and a gradual evolving from the imperfect towards the better. But the progress does not stop, for evolution moves on from the better to the perfect, and from the perfect unto being. So that concludes my presentation, and thank you for your time. Check out the resources. I'll put links in the YouTube description below for you to follow up, and I'll put this image in the chat, and we can open up for discussion.